What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in today's video, we want to talk about the reasons why foreigners succeed in South Africa while the locals don't. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know, we family, right? Holla. People, have you ever wondered why some people succeed and others don't? But in this regard, have you ever wondered why the foreigners succeed and the locals don't? You see, the thing that surprises me the most, right, is that we tend to think in line with what the government, the system, wants us to think. Whereas the foreigners, they think outside of the system. And that is where the key difference lies. Number one, let's look at the types of jobs that we tend to go for. So, first and foremost, we always tend to go for businesses that are always tend to go for jobs that are in line with your tax, within what the government prescribes for us. We're always thinking about jobs that make us feel comfortable, right? And we also feel like we need to have jobs that people feel respected in, right? It's no longer about a hustle. It's not about trying to make a living beyond just survival, right? So, let me give you an example. We will go, we will study to become doctors, lawyers, teachers, mechanics, plumbers. Hell, we'll even work in call centers, factories, warehouses, drivers. We'll work anything and anything, right? As long as it's within the law, right? And we don't want to mess with the taxman, right? So we comply. Okay. There are those that obviously do not want a formal employment. So they will open their house shops, they'll open their own car fixing, mechanical, home business, baking business, you know, selling clothing business, right? But that's a small number. They think outside of the box like that, right? The majority of us feel comfortable in employment because the money is good, hours are good, we get a pension, we get medical aid, and if you're lucky enough, you can get loans, you can make loans by the company, and you don't have to pay back with high interest rates. And that's good and all, to be honest. It's good. But see, the problem with the formal employment route is that it takes long to build sustainable wealth. It takes long to build a legacy, right? And that's what the foreigners have mastered. Now, on the surface, it looks like you are doing far better than the foreigner because you are in a uniform, you are going to a job, you are making 30, 50,000 at the end of the month. That's 4 weeks to make this money, which is good. And I like that. But we don't take risks. And that's the problem. That's another key component, risk. So, what would we do? We would possibly, to make ends meet, we would put our monies together with our colleagues, form sort of a cash club where every month someone gets to go home with extra cash, which the people in the group put together a set amount. So let's just say it's 1,000 rand each. There's 10 of us. So every day someone gets to, well, every month everybody somebody gets to go home with what? Is it 9,000 or 10,000 rand? Right? 10,000 rand. Everybody gets home with 10,000 rand every month, which is good money. Then you wait another 10 months, and then it's your turn. You wait another 10 months until you make 10,000. Is that sustainable? No. Does it help? Yes, of course. What else do we do? We try side hustles on the weekend. We'll bake. We'll have a job. We'll bake. We'll cut lawn, do grass. We'll probably fix cars. But it's a side hustle. Is it sustainable? No, because you're not doing it full time. And it takes a long time to get a real sustainable business going. Okay, so what do the foreigners do? So let's start from the beginning. The foreigners come here, in most cases, to a friend who invites them over, and they come. That friend puts them up in a house or in a shop, rent free in most cases, so they get to work for their upkeep. They will get work for their roof. They get to work for their food. Then 3 months goes by, 6 months goes by. They have enough money with the help of the friend, of course. Remember, they're not paying rent. They're not paying anything. They're enough to get themselves a room somewhere. They get themselves a room. Now, with that money that they earn from the friend, helping out the friend, they now either set up their own little shop or their own little stall or their own little thingy that they do full time, not part time, because they don't have IDs, right? And they don't have permanent residence. So they have to make ends meet somehow. Now, because they have all the time in the day to scout around looking for other opportunities, which you don't have as a South African, as a formerly employed person, because jobs are designed in such a way that they take up the best part of your day. And by the time the best part of your day is over, you are tired to go and try something else. But there are those few who have the energy to go on and do something else after their 9 to 5. They have what we call a 5 to 9, right? So, foreigner comes, and everything that the foreigners do is out of the glare of the taxman, so to speak. So, most of these Somali shops, they pay a license fee, right? They'll ask if they're licensed, but most house shops don't pay tax. Most foreigners come and they open a church. Churches don't pay tax, but it's registered as a business. The rise of foreign businesses in South Africa is the key secret to the wealth that the foreigners are creating in South Africa. Now, let's make it clear. These small businesses that I'm talking about, clearly it's the African migrants that are coming to do this. The white migrants, on the other hand, they getting involved in big business. So they're getting registered, they're paying taxes, they're employing much people. So they don't apply because on average we cannot compete with the white people. They look out for each other, they help each other out. Big money is big this, big that. I mean, you already see that even if you get a formal job, you can start there as a cleaner, right? When a white person starts, he doesn't start as a cleaner. He'll start by assisting someone while learning another person's job. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's the benefits of having your people owning companies, and then you can also be in those positions of power, right? So back to the topic at hand. Why do the foreigners succeed and the locals don't? Risk is another key factor, right? So the foreigners are willing to risk it all, right? We not. We don't take risks. Now, not just risk, but calculated risks. People, yes, I do know that illegal activities are everywhere. Locals are doing it, foreigners are doing it. Locals are assisting foreigners do it. Foreigners are assisting locals to do it. I know that, right? And that's part of the risk that I'm talking about. Nobody goes around just brazenly doing stupid things. There are those that do it, right? But most people, they take calculated risks. So, for example, we all know or we all assume that we know what the Nigerians do, right? The bad ones, okay? Those people, they take risks that most of us wouldn't dare take. And yet, we envy their lifestyle, but we are not willing to take the risks. But we do not want to get involved in crimes. So, how is it possible that a person who owns a cell phone shop gets maybe three customers or five customers on a good day? Every other day, it's one or two customers, right? But then, my point is, how do they get to keep the lights on, right? How do they get to keep the lights on if they're only getting three to five customers a day? I mean, at most or at best, you are only selling three or four cell phones a month. You are fixing about 6 to 10 cell phones a month. That's not enough to keep the lights on. That's not enough to. You're not even selling TVs or anything like that. So, what exactly are you doing to pay the rent and to keep your lights on in the shop that you are renting? Do you get my point? Sadly, though, we all know that behind that slow moving business that they have, there's a fast moving activity that's sustaining that slow business. Are we willing to take such risks? That's the thing. On the whole, no, we're not. We have too much to lose, right? We have too much to lose. They don't, right? Because at best, most of them are not here with families. Most are here alone. And then they come and then they meet locals and then they create a family. So therefore, they can take high risks with low repercussions. Whereas you are here with your entire family, right? Anything you do might go back to your house, to your parents' house, to your dad, thereby causing embarrassment, thereby causing untold stories that could just pop up and then just put your whole family's tree in a bad light with the community. And that's something that we don't want to risk, do we? No, we don't. So, what are the foreigners doing that the locals are not doing? What are the foreigners doing to succeed? Or what are they willing to do to succeed that the locals are not? See, that's the question that we should be asking ourselves. And is it really, really worth it for the locals to be taking that route without the repercussions that the foreigners possibly are willing to endure? At the end of it all, I'm beginning to believe that businesses that avoid paying tax, that fly under the radar, that handle cash, that registered or not, that have a high demand in services or products that people crave or people need are the cornerstone and the secret to the businesses that the foreigners are creating. So, if you really look at it, right, they are coming up with almost these type of businesses that make you depend on them, right? So you become dependent on these people. for your sustenance, for your survival. And that is the key thing. You see, when we go into business, for example, we would go into a business that sells maybe food, right? But the foods that we're selling are not everyday foods. It's almost like a luxury type of food. Like, for example, you go and a typical colored auntie will go and they cook sisters, but that's a Sunday thing, right? It's not an everyday thing. Whereas a local, well, a foreigner would come in and they'd open a house shop, for example. Then now that you're gonna need on an almost daily thing: bread, milk, sugar, oil, eggs. So do you see what I'm talking about? The difference. And then they are quick to help each other out. So when the foreigner comes here, he's just not coming to nobody and to nothing. Right? They're coming out to a network of friends, family that help each other out. They put each other on the map, and in turn they pay it forward. So it's a system, it's an ecosystem that they build, right? Some people were even going as far as saying, for example, they're saying like the Somali pirates at the time, at the height of the piracy in Somalia, right? They were taking their money, the gains they were getting from the shipping companies, they were banking it in Kenya, and some were even coming with it down to South Africa, and that's what they were using to start businesses. Now, that's just a rumor, right? So let's just say it's true. Do we have such connections and networks that can give us that boost with that type of money? I don't think so. You understand what I mean? So at the end of the day, I feel like the foreigners are succeeding because they have a collective ideology that drives them, and they have this one ambition, one way of thinking, this one goal, this one aim. Whereas we, on the other hand, we're pulling in different directions. We're pulling in different directions. This one wants that. This one wants that. We are arguing over small things. We can't even get to live in the same house. We can't even get to do the same things every single day without fighting. But when you look at the Pakistanis, when you look at the Somalis, they live five, six, 10 of them in a shop. Look at the Nigerians; they live 10 in a house. Hell, they even live five in a room. We couldn't possibly do that without fighting, without trying to kill each other. That's just not who we are. And I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. But I think that is the secret as to why foreigners succeed and locals don't. Because they have a shared vision, shared goals, and a shared ambition, shared goals, and a shared value system that makes them want to be successful as a collective. Whereas we want to be individually successful and not as a collective. Let me know if you think I was wrong on this one, or whether you think I was on the money, or whether you think I totally missed it with this one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holler.